Straw Hut Media.
This could be on TV someday.
Someday.
I'm putting that out there. Isolate this audio for when that happens. We'll play it back. All right, so we're gonna do something new. We've been doing this podcast for a few weeks now. We appreciate all your love and support. It means the world to us. Again, just a quick reminder: head over to podcasts if you have an Apple iPhone and give us 5 stars. Write us a review, and then ask your friends and family to get in on the fun too and do the same. If you have a confession, head over to confessyourmess.us. But we do want to give a little shout out each week to somebody who did write us a very thoughtful review.
Okay, so Sarkly Gal on podcast app says, love it. Confess Your Mess is what we all need. AJ and Emile are so authentic and their chemistry is amazing. They will keep you laughing and brighten your day. They definitely need their own show. Can't wait to see who's on next. Keep the confessions coming.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
We do have our own show.
Yeah,
It's Confess Your Mess.
Confess your mess. Today's topic and theme of the episode is dating secrets. And AJ and I have been dating for...
We just had our 9-year anniversary the other day.
9 years,
Yeah.
which is wild.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. 9 years. What would you say? Because I know we haven't read the secrets yet, but I know there's gonna be some crazy dating stories.
Sure.
What would you say is our or your favorite date that we've ever been on?
Oh gosh, that's a really hard question. That we've ever been on.
And this is a test. This will determine if he gets laid tonight.
Okay, but what if it's a date that I did?
That's fine. It's your favorite date.
I really loved our first trip to Disneyland.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah, we vlogged the entire time. It's a YouTube video, so I'm not trying to plug it, but like low-key, go watch it. But no, I loved watching the joy on your face all day long until the last moments where it got cold and your legs were ashy and you were really, really itchy, and it led to a little bit of a fight and you needed lotion really, really bad, and we had to go to the nurse's office.
If you know, you know. When I get cold and I don't have lotion on, my legs were itching. It was like an unbearable itch.
You had
like
a full meltdown.
I did.
The
and
first
he didn't understand.
95% of the day were magical.
My favorite date, I think, would be... I'll ponder on that. But while I ponder on that, why don't you go ahead and introduce our guest?
Wow. You brought this to the conversation. I had nothing. 9 years and there's not been one day.
Introduce our guest.
Wow. That hurts. I'm definitely getting some tonight now because you got to pay me back for that.
No,
our next guest we're super, super excited about. She's a stand-up comic and actress. She recently launched a new podcast called Black News with Kennelia. Please welcome to the program, Kennelia Stradwick.
Whoop, whoop.
Kennelia, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Thank y'all for having me. Side note, if y'all hear birds chirping, my neighbor bird, I got hood birds. So if y'all hear hood birds in the background,
Flying high,
I'm sorry.
You know how I feel.
Wow. This is my life.
Okay, so we haven't seen any of these secrets. Also, sorry, I swear y'all, we're gonna get into it. But before we get into this, Kennelia and I used to do a podcast together called Happy Hour. So we have a lot of history together. And before that, we were at AfterBuzz, and we did multiple shows together. We had some of the top shows at the network. But that's how we met years ago. And AJ and I met at AfterBuzz. So this is a big AfterBuzz reunion in a way.
And also, Kennelia and I were best friends for 2017 or 2000.
Way to go, AJ.
What was that year, Kennelia? What was that year we were best friends?
Lord have mercy.
AJ.
Listen,
Oh, God.
we both had an off year. We weren't working a whole lot. We spent a lot of time together that year.
All right, I'm getting into the secrets. Now, remember, we have not seen any of these secrets. Our producer, Frank, who we love, once they find the secrets that they think will react to the best, they put in our document and we read them. So we're going to read them right now. Okay.
Frank puts us on the spot, let's be honest.
Frank always puts us on the spot. So anonymous female Texas. I dated 2 brothers at the same time.
Wait, that's the whole secret?
That's the whole secret.
That's pretty common, I feel like.
Is that common?
I mean...
AJ, where?
In Texas, apparently.
That don't mean it's... Kennelia, is it common to date 2 brothers at the same time? I don't think that's a common thing.
Girl, no, it's not common. But listen, we don't know his or hers intent. They may be a reason. Maybe one was ashy. Maybe he was raggedy doing it wrong. The other was maybe a nice man. I
feel like my mind goes to, okay, one of them's putting it down, but might be a trash partner, and the other one's a really nice guy, but not really like good at that department. So she's like, okay, well, I'm going to get what I need from both of them and make one sort of whole relationship. But what happens when they find out?
Well, my question is, how are you going to submit this and not give more details?
Yeah.
Like that, I have so many follow-up questions to this because one, it's like, do the brothers live near each other? So is it something, because if they don't live near each other, then that doesn't make it that hard, because if you're dating somebody and the one lives on the other side of town, you can live your life, go out to restaurants and stuff. But then it depends on.
What if they're roommates or something?
I doubt their room. That would be.
How do you
there
know?
ain't no way. There ain't no way you dating both the brothers in their room. So you out here getting pounded out in one room and then come outside. Hey, Frank. Just got pounded out by your brother Fred.
What? Frank and Fred.
Frank and Fred.
No, and look, once Frank and Fred's mom finds out, you're not going to be with either of them. Nobody in the family going to trust you. So she's going to have to either just ride this till the wheels fall off or hope no one ever discovers it, because you can't turn, there's no going back at this point.
But, and I have to be the one to say it, we're assuming that they aren't into that freaky deaky. What if she's saying I'm dating two brothers at the same time, aka I'm dating two brothers at the same time, and we are in a throuple. And
have y'all ever seen that? This is. Have you ever seen that movie, Family Stone? Have you seen it? Do you know what I'm talking about? Sarah Jessica Parker,
like
this
movie
Owen Wilson.
He made me watch one. It's like a Christmas movie, kind of.
It's sort of a Christmas movie, and Sarah Jessica Parker comes into the situation.
He made me watch it.
Dating one of the brothers. I think it's I forget what that guy's name is, but she's dating one of the brothers, and through the course of the movie, she ends up falling for the other brother and sleeping with him.
Spoiler alert.
But her little sister also comes because the thing's going so poorly. Her little sister comes to save her. Claire Danes is the sister, and she ends up sleeping with the original brother. So they end up swapping. So if you are sleeping with the brother and the other brother, you better have a sister ready in case things go south, and you can take your pick and she can take her pick, and it's a really good movie. Holidays are right around the corner. Watch The Family Stone. It's so good.
All I'm gonna say is, if I'm dating somebody, I don't have a brother. I just have a sister. But if I was, if I had a brother and I was dating you, and then I find out you dated my brother, it's something.
Well, I will say this:
watch your back.
There were a couple times back in my 20s, my little sister, God love her, she's a little bit problematic these days, but we were best friends, lived together, went out together all the time, and I would literally make her get dressed up to go to all the gay bars, and I would have her put like a push-up bra and like a lace top and some little short skirt, and she would go out. And there were a couple of times where, one time in particular, I remember getting a drink with my buddy, and we looked down over like the balcony onto the dance floor, and she's dancing with my boyfriend and making out with him. Oh, well. So that has happened. That's a little awkward. But actually, that's what we were all just trying. It's like a funny story now, kind of, but low key. But to actually be dating,
it's a funny story now.
And he was gay. What was he kissing her? He was gay.
Maybe he was. Was he bi?
No.
Are you sure? Because he was. Are you sure?
He's very much married to a man now.
That doesn't mean you're not bi.
No, but he's never once. I dated him.
He made out with your sister, so you can't say he's never done anything.
Did you punch him in the face? Like, what happened? I feel like you're supposed to punch him in the face or something.
She was real drunk and he was real drunk, and I think they ran out, and I caught her outside sitting in an alley having a cigarette with the drag queen and crying to the drag queen about it, and he got in a car with his twin sister who came and picked him up because she hated me.
Well, he had a twin sister? AJ, I'm so done. This is just... Okay. Anonymous Mel, WeHo. Hey, shout out WeHo.
Okay. We can know this person.
We don't go out to WeHo as often as I think we should. There's a new bar I keep seeing people, and Alana tells about it, called Stash. I want to check out Stash WeHo. Okay. I went on a date with the guy, not sponsored, no plugs, so I'm not getting anything to say that. Okay. I went on a date with the guy that took me out to eat, and then proceeded to say that he couldn't get off without someone farting and burping. He asked me what kind of food he could buy me to make me fart or burp. I told him I don't burp, so he was trying to get me tons of food, and I farted for him, and he whipped it in like a warm apple pie.
What?
He then proceeded to tell me that he wanted me to join his boyfriend and him, which I did not know he was into, and did not join. By the way, the restaurant was Subway.
Like, low-key, Subway do be making you hella gassy if you put a lot of cucumbers on there.
Subway will make you gassy regardless of what it is. Half of that ain't even meat.
Okay, so first and foremost, if this person were ever to take me out on a date, just buy me one piece of broccoli and a game over.
Listen, you're going to get all the farts. It's going to stink. It's going to stink.
Okay, but this...
Yeah, that's a bit much. I mean... Nah, like, I want to know the follow-up, right? But did they continue to date? Was there a part 2? Or was this like the last straw? Because the fact that he or she actually farted and went through it, it tells me that they might be on board with it. So what happened? I want to know what happened.
Okay, so here's the thing, because I don't judge. So
Yeah,
I'm not gonna judge your kink. It's just the fact that they said that he couldn't get off without someone farting and burping.
Okay, so yeah, I think there's a difference between like having a kink and a turn on, right? That is like a cool supplement to your sex life versus I can't get off unless this thing happens. I feel like if that's the scenario, then there's some like deeper underlying issues that you should probably look into and deal with. I had an ex who could not get off unless there was something really problematic and sort of dangerous about what we were doing. So you know who he is. I dated him for years. He was raised though in a very, very religious cult-like environment.
Oh, okay.
Right?
I don't think I knew about the danger part though.
Well, like dangerous, meaning like, oh, I can cheat on you because you cheated on me. I could cheat on you and get off because that's dangerous because I could get caught.
Oh,
or
my brain went somewhere completely
different. I could hook
different.
up with you in a threesome scenario because that's kind of naughty and kind of there's some danger involved in us getting revealed. That would work.
Wait, Kennelia, I was over here thinking, I was like, so what, like danger, like blood stuff, or
no,
like what?
Wow.
I don't know. That's where my brain was going.
Stabbing people in the bed, like AJ was shanking them up to get them ready to go.
He's like you want this, like, because cheating doesn't that doesn't sound like danger. I get when you explain it now.
Yeah.
But my danger was going somewhere completely different, like choking until you're almost out of breath and dying. Like I thought that's what you were talking about.
That's you. That's extreme.
That is not me. So what we're not going to do is put that on this podcast.
Kennelia, I want to ask you, Kennelia, in dating scenarios, once like the intimacy, the sex starts to get involved, what is your line that you draw in the sand? Like, what is, if you're really into somebody, then all of a sudden you find the man of your dreams because you're available right now. She's a hot commodity, y'all. So if you slide into her DMs, but say you meet the man of your dreams, things are going great, and all of a sudden he's like, I want to fart in your face.
Ew.
Are you like, I could consider this and figure that out, or are you like, nope, you're out the door?
I'm willing to try if it doesn't gross me out. Like, I be gassy, okay? I ain't gonna even hold you. I be gassy, but it stinks. So there's no way that you can, like, I can fart in your face, you can fart in my face if that gets you off, because then I ain't gonna be ready to go no more anyway because it stank. I just don't. So I can do it as long as I can continue on with the rest of the night after I pee on you, fart in your face, poop, whatever, all of this. Like I have to be able to continue.
I just remembered what I think is my favorite date.
Aww.
I think it was... So Kennelia, in terms of what you said about bodies, kind of like an excursion in a way, but I think not really. I think my favorite date was I had never been to a Broadway show, and for my 25th or 26th birthday, 25th, he surprised me with, you were at that party.
She was at the party, yeah.
Downtown. He surprised me with this card, and in the card it had like different notes and stuff I had to put together.
That was a box. I put layers of a box together.
The point being, Jesus,
I put a lot of work into that.
I opened it up, and he was letting me know the different Broadway shows I was going to see because I never went to a Broadway show. Even though I have family in New York, I've been to Broadway or been to New York for years. Anyway, my favorite one was the very first Broadway show that I had seen, which was Color Purple with Cynthia Erivo, Jennifer Hudson, and it was
Danielle
magical.
Brooks.
And Danielle Brooks.
Well, because Danielle, I knew at the time. I'd met her on Good Day LA when I was there, so I'd reached out to her. So we did a little meet and greet afterwards. She brought us up on stage, and we took photos on the Color Purple stage. And to Cynthia Erivo, though, it was a revelation. But yeah, that was a good date.
Wait, Jennifer Hudson wasn't that one?
Yeah, they were all still. It was when it first came out.
I never saw the Fantasia one, but let me tell you, the one I saw was...
I saw Fantasia years ago on tour. She was also just killer. So good.
I love Fantasia. B-A-B-Y-M-A-M-A. This goes out to all my baby mamas. I got love for all my baby mamas. Okay.
The fact that was the go-to song, though. Like, out of all the Fantasia songs, Baby Mama.
I love that song, man. She was speaking from the heart. Okay. Anonymous Male. I will be a 30-year-old gay man next month, and I've never been on a date.
Aww.
You know,
don't believe the hype, sis.
It ain't all it's cracked up.
But this is my question, and this is maybe a generational thing. I'm a bit older than that. Are people even dating anymore? Because from the chatter, social media wise, that I'm hearing, people are not really going out on quote unquote dates. They're doing like coffee or kick it and meeting up. But that old school dating, it seems like it's gone now.
Yeah, the idea of like courting someone and taking them out to a dinner, picking them up with your car, is that even a thing anymore?
Right, giving them shots of Ciroc Red Berry at a bar. I think it's that's an interesting conversation since we're talking about dating, because like I said, we've been dating for 9 years, but the dating landscape has changed drastically since when we started dating versus now. I remember even a few years before we started dating, online dating isn't what it is now. Like online dating was like Match.com or websites like that, and I thought it seemed so weird.
And it was a shame. Like you would be shamed if you did online dating.
Oh, you met your one of my professors, one of my favorite professors. I remember I was in her class. You've met her. She met her now husband of many years on a dating website, but at the time it seemed kind of weird because people didn't do that, and now you have all these different apps.
Are we talking about Pam?
Yeah,
I love
Dr. Wilson. Great. Yeah, but at the time it seemed like kind of bizarre. But now you have all these things. But now it feels like I still feel like Match.com and those type of websites are more legit when you're trying to really find somebody versus this Tinder and stuff where it's just those are basically just hookup apps, right?
Well, Tinder is known for the hookup app. I think they said Grindr is known for the hookup app too.
Well, the Grindr's for sure.
That's all it is.
That's good. Grinding.
You are not going on Grindr to find
your husband.
Some people have.
Yeah, I think it depends on the app. Hinge, you got Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, Coffee Meets Bagel. I done been on quite a few.
Coffee Meets Bagel.
What's Coffee Meets Bagel?
Coffee Meets Bagel, I think I only stayed on there for like 15 seconds. You can give out like bagels or like it's like the coins per se to be able to meet with people, and you only get a certain amount of bagels. I might be wrong because this was back in the day when I tried to look in there. I stick to Hinge and Bumble, but those apps make it so that you don't necessarily have to go out. You could do video calls on there. They have built-in games where you can play with play games with the person that you match with. So it's not built to initiate immediate outside dates, especially during the pandemic. So, I mean, old school date might be gone. This 30-year-old, they may not ever go on like an old fashioned date unless they date like an older man. Get an older man.
What did we used to do early pandemic? Remember we used to play that game, that app all the time.
Oh, House Party.
House Party. Remember that? Sometimes Kennelia wouldn't be available to us when you find out she'd be hosting a party with her girlfriends. Like, wait, we try to like pop in and say hi. Like, what are you doing? Why are you not available to us?
AJ's favorite thing would be to pop in on somebody's house party. Like somebody will be with their friends and he would just pop in. Hey, I'm AJ. I'm like, AJ, get out there. You ain't invited to the party.
You gotta lock the door.
You gotta lock the door.
You can't come in. I'm having my line sister party.
Yep.
What are you talking?
Yep.
Kenelia's like, this is a different set of friends, AJ. You're not in this group.
Listen, no, for you 30-year-old man, I'm 31.
I was a little more traditional though. Like, I took you on dates.
Yeah, you took me on dates.
Yeah. And we still go on dates though.
And I wish there was more to this secret just because there's so many follow-up questions. I know you say you're a 30-year-old gay man. Are you out of the closet? Is there like a reason, like more reason why you haven't gone on a date?
Yeah, are you the reason you haven't gone on the date yet because you're not comfortable, or is it because nobody else has asked you out or you're not sure how to navigate? Because 30 sort of is that in-between age. Like you're still old enough to know what it's like to like be around like a dating scenario, but you maybe have not had the experience yet, especially if you haven't gone on a date for the last few years.
I will say though that just the prospect and idea of dating terrifies me. Like when as
it should.
I'm an ambivert, so I'm an extroverted introvert. So for the most part, I can turn it on for the camera. I can turn it on when I'm around people. But even when AJ and I, or me, AJ Kennelia, or me, AJ Kennelia, Sophia, whatever our different groups are, go out, y'all know we will retreat to the corner and we will be by ourselves until somebody comes over to us and be like, what y'all doing? And then, or if you come introduce us to somebody, but we're not the outgoing people to just be going up to people.
We were supposed to go to 3 events this week and you bailed on all 3. I went to 1.
First of all, you bailed on some 2. But what I'm saying though is, and when it comes to dating, I can't imagine, like, I'm already retreating with AJ. I can't imagine going out by myself or even with friends and seeing a cute guy and being like, oh, let me go up to them and see what's happening. Or even if I'm on an app talking to somebody, just going and meeting with a stranger for a date. I don't know. So I sympathize with this person, but I wish I did have more details about.
Do you still like dates though, Kennelia? Do you want a man who is going to take you out and wine you and dine you and open your door and pull out your chair? Are you still into that, or is that kind of just outdated?
Yeah, I like it. I like it with people that I like, though. I don't want to go out on a date with somebody that I don't have the time or the patience to entertain people that I don't like. So if I'm feeling you, oh yeah, let's go get food, let's go to the movies, all of that stuff. But if you like annoying, and people on the apps now be lying, if you like show up short and you said you was like 6'1", I don't want to be here.
I forgot about that aspect. There's the whole catfishing aspect of it. People might not even be what they're saying. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a quick question before we move to the next secret. Don't say nothing. So if a guy picks you up for a date, Kennelia, he opens the door for you, you get inside, what is your next move?
Now, I know what you're going to say. I sit in my seat. I don't lean over and open up the door no more.
Thank you.
Only because we only started doing that because we watched The Bronx Tale back in the 90s. And on The Bronx Tale, she opened up the door and let him in. And ever since that, people were like, you got to open up the door.
I'm going to rebut this right now. Is
Here
that right?
Go.
Rebuttal. So I was raised that you always get in the passenger. If they open the passenger door for you and you sit down, while they walk behind or in front of the car, you lean across and open their door. And I've told him this for years, and I have said, regardless of whether or not you were raised that way, I would like it. He still won't do it, and it drives me crazy. But I still do it for him. I was talking to my girl, Michaela Gordon. She was on our podcast weeks ago. She's my co-host and my best friend, right? I was talking to her the other day, and randomly she brought up a story. She says that in Italian culture, she was an Italian American, and that one of the things that girls are taught is, or a man is taught is, if you're dating a woman and you put her in the passenger seat on a first date and she does not reach across and open that door, she does not get a second date. She's like, that's how
serious. That was on A Bronx Tale.
Nah.
They were Italian. So with black people,
so she probably just watched the movie.
Until we saw it on A Bronx Tale. And then somehow in black culture, it became the norm. I always hated it because we got that off a movie. They ain't got nothing to do with us.
Right.
I don't want to do this.
Thank you. And then also where my problem with it lies is, so you are opening the door for me, being sweet. Like you brought me flowers, you opened the door, all this stuff. Cool. So did you open the door for me just so I can open the door for you? Or did you open the door for me because you want to open the door for me? Don't do nothing for me unless you want to do it. Don't be doing stuff to get something in return, because I'm not with that.
He recently started.
Points are made.
He's
making a point.
He recently started therapy.
I did it. Oh, I did just start
to work through some of that.
I did just start therapy. But I'm just saying, don't do nothing unless you, y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Next.
Thank you, Kennelia, for being on my side.
I'm always here.
She's in my wedding party. So
Kennelia is on my side. Okay. Anonymous.
Is that a nationwide lingo?
Okay. Anonymous female. Boyfriend likes to eat me out when I have Zoom meetings. Ooh, I support it.
Kennelia?
I support it.
Where she work at? Girl, where you work? You not, where you working? I have to be too focused on the meeting, so that could never work for me. If she got a job where she can phone it in and it's not extra distracting, girl, do you get it in where you fit in? I'm fine with it.
Follow-up questions, though. Does she have to be on camera? Because sometimes you don't have to be on camera, because then that's fine. You're just listening. But even if you are on camera, like I used to, when I had to have Zoom meetings when I was at a more corporate job, I used to purposely have, like, in my little side group chat, we'd be texting each other, and I would like, look at me, and I would make faces and stuff. I would try to make people laugh and have fun in there.
There's a whole, like, subculture going on during, like, Zoom meetings with your closest friends. You might do a group text in the Zoom, but then you're side texting on your phone to try to make somebody laugh and make them like, I like to do this. I'm like, you have to use this word. Next time you talk, you have to find a way to use the word, like the name Penelope or like Aardvark. You have to get that in a sentence somewhere and not let anybody pick up on it. Like I like to play games because those things are so boring.
Well, let me tell you something. Back for the previous company I worked for, I was on this panel, and it was at the height of Black Lives Matter, because it comes in waves when people act like they're interested. And it was at the height of people acting like they were interested in the movement. And my company had me on a panel with 3 other people. And we were on this panel, and I was talking about my experience. I forgot what it was, but just my experience of being a black man, and explaining all that stuff to all of these people. All I remember, though, is at the peak of my talk, I was sitting in this chair and in my living room, and you can see the hallway. AJ comes walking by shirtless in his underwear. And then I don't think he realized he was on camera. So first he walks forward. Then he walks back and he like paused for a little bit to say something. And I was like, AJ, I was on somewhere. Like I'm over here trying to adjust the camera.
Wasn't I wearing like hot pink underwear or something ridiculous?
Yes. And so I text my little group chat. I was like, did y'all see AJ? He's like, yeah, we saw him. We saw him. The whole, it was a company-wide meeting. It was a big company. So AJ
is we are under attack as black people. We have to mobilize. Here come AJ walking through with the drawers on.
Tall ass white man in the background with hot pink underwear.
I can't.
Oh, sorry about that.
Okay. Our last secret before we get to Kennelia's. Anonymous. Mm-hmm. This is just anonymous. We don't know anything else. My friend stabbed her date in the hand. Wait. Huh? I know we were talking about blood earlier. I didn't think we were going to get one. My friend stabbed her date in the hand with a knife because he spit water in her face.
Ooh.
Oh. Now, how you going? Okay. Wait.
Well, good. Hey, okay. Okay, I'm sold. You gonna spit water in my face? Oh, wait. Was it an accidental spit? Like spit when you talk? Like, ooh, my bad. Ooh.
Or like or like laughter spit. That could be a different one.
This sounds, because here's the thing. This sounds like one of those type spits. And if have y'all ever used to watch, what was that show? Flavor of Love, and it was New York and Pumpkin. I think that scene. Look, do you know that scene?
Pumpkin. I remember Pumpkin. Mm-hmm.
Yo, when the spit hit the. Spit in my face, and I cannot control what happens to you after. I wish somebody would spit in my face.
Sometimes you're into that.
No,
though.
I'm never into that. AJ, stop going on this podcast and telling lies. Ain't nobody ever been to spit in the face. Ain't nobody into that. Ain't nobody into that.
Hey, okay.
Anyway,
no, if he really spit on her, then you got to get shanked up. Like, I
don't. wait. This is the second shanking reference in one podcast.
Yeah, you got to. And here come a third. You gotta get shanked up. Like, you're not just gonna be spitting on me or in my face.
But there another
what was said to even get to that point?
And that's what I want to know.
What kind of date is this where he spitting on you, you stabbing him?
But here's the thing, because
probably met on Bumble.
Just from my friends going on dates and some of the stories I've heard, especially in times right now. You could meet somebody, you can go on a date with them, you can find out that they don't have the same political or the same views on vaccines. Like, there's so many different things. You start to talking, getting heated, and then all of a sudden he's spitting in your face and you stabbing him in the hand.
And also, low key, you got to remember, we've all been cooped up for a couple years. So if you are actually leaving the house, doing your hair and makeup,
we all want to stab somebody,
and going on a date, you're already putting a lot of pressure on yourself to really enjoy it because you probably haven't done it a lot lately. So if things go south, I mean, I guess, but here's my bigger concern is why this man is going to spit in her face. And then did he leave his hands on the table so she could stab one? Because I can't imagine his hands were in the air and she reached and just randomly got his hand. His hand had to have still been on the table and she put a knife in it.
If you're sitting across from each other, here's where I'm you're sitting across from this is the table, sitting across from each other, and he's like, sitting there, like waiting for her, see her reaction, and then she grabbed the knife instantly and then stabbed his hand. Ooh, this could be a movie. Let's call it The Stabbing.
I've been watching Handmaid's Tale. That stuff's real. That's how you push a woman too far, you're gonna get stabbed in the hand. We don't condone violence.
That's what he get. He get it. And on apps, you can specify if you are vaccinated. They've tailored it to highlight different things that's going on now. A lot of people put, don't hit me up if you voted for Trump. Like, people real serious on the apps. So you can get around that a bit. But if he needed to get stabbed, he needed to get stabbed, Yeah,
I could never. If I found out one day that you voted for Trump or something, I don't know how I could do it. I don't think I could stay. That'd be hard.
Well, I would hope we wouldn't be in a relationship this long and you just now finding that out.
Oh, damn.
You'd be surprised.
No, you got to keep it.
I read an article where this lady found out that her husband was an internet troll. And she confronted him and he would not stop. And they ended up having to get a divorce because he refused to stop trolling from like a fake account.
And they were married?
What?
Yep. Ooh. They were married. She found out he was a troll.
Remember when trolls just used to live under bridges and fairy tales?
Oh, I thought you were about to bring up the troll dolls. I used to love those little troll dolls. Their wild hair. Because I felt like with the troll dolls, I could play with the hair without it seeming weird. Because you play with Barbie's hair.
Yeah.
But the troll dolls.
I played with trolls too. So it was kind of like you could low key be like, I'm gay as hell, but
right,
also,
but they don't know.
Like these are it's ambiguous whether these are boys or girls. It's fine. Before we get to your confession, we know this, and I think our listeners really want to hear this story. You're talking about your mom. Explain to us where the name Kennelia came from, because it's so unique and so beautiful, and I adore the story.
Well, first, I only started liking Kennelia, the name, probably like 3 years ago.
Wait, what?
I did not like this whole time. It's Kenny and Ophelia. Those are my parents' names. They decided they need to put this together and create this name of mine. Now, there are other Kennelias that are younger than me that I found on social media. Randomly. They don't have the same like Kenny and Ophelia, but I ain't the only one no more. It's a couple.
Oh.
Well, here, you notice how she dropped that. They're younger than her. That means they copied her.
You were the first.
Originator. Okay? I'm the OG with it.
I have a little sister who, when my parents, my mom and my stepdad had a kid, she had her kids already, and he had his kids already. Sort of like the Brady Bunch growing up. And so when we got together, and this is what I love, when I heard the story from Kennelia years ago, I was like, oh, we're connected. But we all had to come together. And our parents said, you're going to decide your baby sister's middle name. And so we all got together and we came up with the middle name Cadle. Her first name is Mackenzie. And so Mackenzie Cadle is her name. And it is spelled Kaddl. As far as I know, it's the only Cadle I've ever seen or heard of. And the 5 of us kids came together and came up with that because it's the initials of all of our names. Carrie, AJ, Derek, Darren, Libby. So it's Mackenzie Cadle, so she's sort of like a representation of both of us, kind of like you. You're a representation of your mom and your dad, Kenny and Ophelia.
Has she said if she likes that middle
name?
She
loves it. She loves it. She got to that a little bit sooner, I think, than Kennelia did.
Yeah, and that's some Midwest stuff. Because you Ohio, I'm Michigan. That's some straight up country. Woods. That's country. It is country.
Love it.
I support it. Okay, AJ, now you know what it's time for.
It is time for Kennelia to
confess your mess.
Ooh. Okay, it's Sync, not the group with Justin Timberlake. So I feel like y'all know this story. Maybe y'all haven't. Maybe y'all haven't told y'all. So back in the day, when I was being a bad bitch. Or no, this was before. Like this was right before I thought like I was out here really doing it. I was in New York. This was 2007-ish. I had a homeboy who randomly hit me up and was like, hey, I have a friend. He plays football. He looking for a nice like girl. He want to settle down. So, I thought of you. And so I want to, connect you with my homeboy, set y'all up on it like a date, like a blind date. He real cool. It's going to be great. I was like, all right, whatever. We talked on the phone. Me and the guy talked on the phone one time. He played for the Jets. Now, he wasn't good. He was like, he was somewhere on the team, but he wasn't like.
He was like a 4th or 5th rounder. Yeah.
He was like special teams, something like that. Okay. So he was like, how about you come to the game and we meet for the first time? I was like, okay, cool. So this was like right on the heels of like Flavor in Love when like Bad Bitchin' started catching steam. So I was like, oh, I got to be cute. I got to dress up for the game. I'm going to kill him. So my line sister was like, what you going to wear? So we spent all of this time trying to pick out something for me to wear at the game, football game.
Did you have long hair at the time still? This was back then, right?
I did have long hair. Yeah. So we came to the conclusion that a sundress and ballerina slippers was the appropriate outfit.
Wait.
I can never even picture you in that outfit.
Wait, you said a sundress and ballet slippers?
You remember when girls were wearing the ballet slippers?
I remember.
Like Sarah Jessica Parker, Sex and the City-ish? Or were you going for that kind of a look?
Yes, but it didn't look like SJP. Like it wasn't like that. So when you go to the back in the day, the Jet Stadium, you had to park way in the cut. Parking passes don't matter where. It was far out. So imagine me with this sundress and ballet slippers walking through the tailgate parking lot looking like freaking Tinkerbell. So it was already going bad. Get into the game. And after the game, they had this bubble in this tunnel. I finally meet this guy for the first time. He hella awkward. I'm awkward because, again, I'm out of place. My homeboy and his girlfriend are there as well. So we're doing a meet and greet. Out the corner of my eye, I see like this pack of like hood girls. It was like 3 of them. They had like wife beaters on. Like it was like cut up wife beaters, capri ripped jean pants with with the Chloe bags. This was 2007, so we was wearing Chloe bags. And they were staring at me. I was like, oh, they must be looking at my outfit. Like they might, okay. I, put it back in my mind. The guy at the football dude was like, let's go to Cheesecake Factory. We're gonna have let's go. You hungry? So we go to Cheesecake Factory in New Jersey. 4 of us, my friend and his girlfriend, my date and me are, having a decent meal. And all of a sudden we're in the back. I hear clunking walking from the front of the Cheesecake Factory back to the back. Clunk, clunk.
Because they all have those marble floors. It's loud. You can hear somebody. Well, I used to be a server there. I get it.
I turn around and approaching me was one of the hood girls from the football game with the Chloe bag and the white beater.
They followed you.
She was like, "You on a date with Rashad?" That was his name.
Not Rashad.
I was like, huh? You on a date? Are you on a date?
Well, also keep in mind, this is 2007. At this point, Cheesecake Factory is a place where people were still going to. This was like a peak level date, right? This is where people would go get engaged. People proposed to people at the Cheesecake Factory in 2007.
What?
Yeah, it's a nice restaurant, especially back in the day.
Now wait a minute.
And this is before social media, when you didn't really know where people were at unless you followed them in the car.
Right. So she followed
unless you tailed them.
She followed you and Rashad.
What?
Come to find out, this was his actual girlfriend.
Wait, what? Whoa.
What I gather, it was one of those relationships where she thought they were together and he necessarily did not. However, somebody thought they were in a relationship and she showed up at the Cheesecake Factory to rectify the situation.
And his homeboy was there with you, so he knew that.
He was continuing to eat his chicken parmesan like it was like nothing was going on. Like, this is just so delicious. This is so good. He gets up and goes out to the parking lot with his girlfriend. They chop it up, sit, talk. He comes back to the table and continues to eat his Alfredo like nothing ever happened. He was like, "Oh, this is good. Is your food good?"
Yo.
Nothing ever happened.
What did you do?
I got my doggy bag because I'm going to get the leftovers.
Yeah, because like Loki, they serve you 3 chicken breasts on a meal there. It's like 3 meals. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the 3 meals. I got my leftovers, gathered my leftovers. I was like, okay, cool. I had a good time. Go to the parking lot. He was like, I'm going to walk you to your car. He walks me to my car. Didn't bring it up at all. Didn't bring it up. And he was like, okay, it was good seeing you. I'll talk to you later. And then I leave. Didn't see him again until like months later where I was at a club and I randomly bumped into him at a club. And he was like, what's up? He was like, you see you with it. I was like, you have a girlfriend? He was like, oh.
Man, Rashad.
And that was it. It was the worst date
I've
ever been on my life. One, because I didn't know for a 4th time if I was going to get shanked up. She looked like she was going to shank me up.
Well, he might have been walking you to your car to protect you. Like, that actually might have been why he walked you. She's probably out there waiting.
Yeah, I thought she was going to jump you.
Follow-up question.
I wouldn't have been surprised if she was a goon.
Did you?
She was a goon. She looked like she was going to beat me. And I'm from Flint. So for me to say that, it was bad.
Did you get cheesecake to go? Did you take a dessert home with you at least?
Nah, I just packed up and I was still eating meat back then. So I just packed up my chicken Alfredo and left. It was no.
Now, every episode, we like to do a takeaway of the day. So out of all the secrets or out of this conversation, what is your takeaway of the day?
Oh, good question. My takeaway of the day is I apparently like the word or the act of shanking. I have now used it 5 or 6 times throughout the duration of this podcast. So either I have a history of getting shanked up, or that is in my very near future. So
I hope not.
Listen, I rebuke that.
Let's rebuke the shanking.
Tell us a little bit about your podcast before we let you go. What if somebody's tuning in for the first time to Black News with Kennelia? What can they expect?
Black News with Kennelia is basically a podcast where I talk about hot topics, current events, local stories involving Black people. We watch the news, and a lot of times the only stories that come about involving Black people are something bad or traumatizing. We're not talking about Black culture moments, social media conversations. You're not hearing about, are you going to go to dinner with Jay-Z or take $500,000 on larger platforms. Yeah. But on Black News with Kennelia, that's what we're talking about. We doing all things Black, and we having all the Black conversations.
Okay, that's an elevator pitch.
Which by the way, I was gonna text you about that. I would definitely take the money because there's no guarantee that Jay-Z is going to talk to you at the dinner.
Yeah, take the money.
He don't want to eat food with us. He does not.
Take that money, invest it. Anyway, so yes, we love you so much, Kennelia. We will see you soon at Asphalt Comedy, and we will continue to listen to Black News. Support our girl, and
go give her 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, write her a review, and then do the exact same thing for us. As a matter of fact, you can do ours first because self-love matters. 5 stars, write reviews. Please and thank you. Kennelia, we adore you.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Confess your mess.
Confess Your Mess is a Straw Hut Media podcast produced by Ryan Tillotson and Frank Driscoll. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and share.
And if you have a secret and want to share, go to confessyourmess.us to submit. Your secret could end up in the show.
Ooh.